What's up, guys? Local Bulls fan here. So far, the offseason, I would consider it very much a success. So we're able to retain, our top three free agents being Vooch, Kobe, and Io, while still adding major talent with Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. Overall, great signings, great deals. Right now, I just want to review the contracts, analyze it, debunk the discourse around some of the contracts, and talk about how potentially we could have, had a few steals. So I'm just going to start off with the Vooch contract. Overall, that was an extension before he hit free agency, which is great. Because if you notice in free agency, these teams were willing to spend. Bruce Brown got paid. So did Dillon Brooks and many, many other players. They got paid. They got money. And we're able to not have Vooch be in that and explore that versus, hey, I want to sit down, negotiate this with you, because that was a great thing to do. Betting against yourself was good. Working with Vooch's agent was great, because when you go out and be like, hey, Vooch, go see what else is out there, we'll match that contract. Next thing you know, instead of a 3-year, $60 million contract, he's coming back with a 4-year, $100 million or whatever type deal, and you have to match it because you can't walk away from this trade with nothing. You gotta make sure that you got your guy, and he's not, getting paid $25 million from somebody else. He's here to stay, making $18.5 his first season here. His contract offer overall, he makes less money than Dillon Brooks, Draymond Green, and Bruce Brown. That is a steal. That is not a steal, but he's getting paid what he's worth while not breaking the bank. You weren't able to find the replacement center out there because, for one, if he walks away, that's not freeing up cap space. It just isn't, because we're over the salary cap of the initial mark. So it's very much funky when it comes up to there. However, you're not going to find any other free agency centers out there. Jakob Poeltl and Brook Lopez were the other better options out there, and they both got paid to stay at their teams. They got paid more than Vooch, so you were very much going to have a center problem if you let him just walk, and if you, had to overpay. Imagine if you overpaid and then you had to miss out on Javon Carter, and not only miss out on, a free agent you were after, but then you have to decide between Kobe or Io. That would have been something that it causes problems where there doesn't need to be problems. Now let's move on to the Kobe White deal. Kobe White signed for a deal for 3 years, $36 million in total. No one really complained. No one said too much about this deal. I liked it. My initial reaction, my thoughts on this deal is his agent and him sat down, listen, the market's not going to be too crazy. Let's, get this deal with the Bulls. You made $24 million off your rookie contract. Let's sign this one. Short enough, you could get a payday still while being in your prime, as well as you have an opportunity to start on the Bulls since Lonzo is hurt. And, Javon, Io, very much, they're all on the same level, caliber, template player, I would say, in terms of, being able to outplay each other, but I'll get to that later. Overall, it's just a great opportunity, great contract. He has incentives. He can make up to $40 million in total. Wow, that's $4 million extra. And my thoughts on Kobe is he could be like an Anthony Simons, a Tyrese Maxey, those types of players. And those guys, I know Anthony makes, pretty penny, as well as like Jordan Poole, Tyler Hero. So, like I said, it's still an opportunity for him. It's very much a guard-heavy league, so it's going to be harder for him to find somewhere where he could fit and do his thing. And staying with the Bulls, very much great for Kobe. And now we get into Io. So my thought, my assumption, my guess, no sources, is that the Bulls probably had that contract ready for Io here, sign, let's go, but he probably wanted to explore the market. He is going to have a shorter career than like a guy like Kobe White because he's an older rookie. So he's not coming in at 19 already having that rookie money. He, older. He only made 3 mil, so he wants to test out the market and see what type of money he can get. My personal, unprofessional opinion, I do think it would have been bad business if AK was like, you know what? Here's a qualifying offer. Go find yourself another deal. We'll, let us know. If not, you're just going to accept the qualifying offer, be an unrestricted free agent again. We're not going to try to negotiate, nothing like that. Like, overall, that's bad business. That gives you a bad name. It's very much Gar-Pax-esque type thing in the sense of, all right, same thing that happened with Zach LaVine. I don't think he was too happy about that. It makes, guys like Carmelo Anthony rethink if they're going to sign with this team. If you're treating your players like this, if you're nickel and diming, a young player that you drafted from, his own town, it says a lot. The qualifying offer was about like 5.2 million. And I think the base level, the estimated one I saw on Spotrac was 6.4 million. So you mean to tell me about 1.2 million is where like you're drawing the line, you're being cheap about it? Obviously, to regular people like you and me, that's not, that's a lot of money. But in terms of the NBA, Jerry Reinsdorf, Chicago Bulls, Legacy Dynasty, Michael Jordan, D Rose, it would have been idiotic. And then everyone's saying it's overpay. It just doesn't make sense. The contract is equivalent to Grady Dick's contract, the 14th overall pick in this draft. It says something. It's not too much. That's where Ayo, kind of projects in a redraft, as well as I think it's Davion Mitchell at 9th, where that contract's equivalent to the same, as well as if you add up, Ayo's 2 rookie deals, for his first 2 seasons here, that's like 3 million. So that's like 23 million for 5 seasons. Overall, that's very much a pretty decent rookie size contract, and you plus the 5th year. So it doesn't make sense to me being nickel and dimey, cheap, just being very cheap about it just isn't it. Maybe they would have tried to work out a signing trade with Toronto. That was like the team that he was linked to, as well as maybe Grant Williams, a swap, considering the Bulls were on the table for him and the Celtics do need a guard. Maybe Ayo thought there was a market for him. He wanted to see. I know, I think Brooklyn and the Wizards are 2 teams that still have their non-tax player exception of like 12 mil. So maybe Ayo could have try to see if he fits right in there. Both teams, he could have had the opportunity to play, try to, get more in that guard depth, but who knows? Overall, I'm glad Ayo's back. The contract is very much good, very much great. You're able to retain your player. He takes up less than 5% of the salary cap. Something to really trip over, nothing to go crazy about. He's making less than Joe Ingles, Trey Lyles, Georges Niang, and Moritz Wagner. I think Ayo's better than all those guys, and the fact that he's making less than all of them, come on, it's change. Come on, guys, it's not. He didn't sign the Jaylen Brown deal. Moving on, Jevon Carter. So before getting into the contract he signed, I wanted to just go into him as a player. Pause. I wanted to really explore his career, really show what type of player he's been, and overall just so you guys get an idea of who he is. So he was drafted the 2nd round, 32nd by the Memphis Grizzlies. He signed a multi-year deal with them, only to be traded to the Suns. And then he's obviously he signed the deal with them. Then he got traded to the Brooklyn Nets to then be waived by the Nets. Then he signed a deal with Milwaukee. Now he's here with the Chicago Bulls. What, this transaction report I found on Basketball Reference tells me is that he's been fighting to be in the lead, in the spot. This man's been grinding. I feel like we got ourselves a great player that's, been hustling. Like Alex Caruso, making a name for himself in this league. He takes about 4.2 3-point attempts, exactly what we need on this team. very much a great player. Overall, Javon Carter signing, I feel like could be the steal of the free agency, but that's, subject for another day. But he's gonna come in and start. He's gonna come in right away, 3-and-D, make sure he could facilitate somewhat in the half court, be able to knock down 3-point shots, defend very well. I think he could complement Zach and Lamar a lot better than Patrick Beverley can, and did. And Javon, Javon's great. Overall, I've seen some videos of him talking in the post game, and he was very much had this Rough Rider attitude that Chicago loves. And he is, from Chicago. Overall, his deal is just like similar to Ayo, I think slightly less, with a 30-year player option. So if he outplays his contract, he's going to be coming for more money. And I hope he does. Overall, I think Javon Carter, I'm very much high on the Javon Carter signing than most people usually would be. But let's see. So moving on, Torrey Craig, vet minimum 2 years. Torrey Craig is another journeyman, I would say. He signed a 2-way spot with the Nuggets, and then he went on, just bouncing from team to team, Milwaukee, Indiana, the Suns. The Suns is really where he solidified himself as a 3-and-D type player. Overall, he's not the older age, so I could see why there wasn't too much of a market for him, in the sense he wants to sign with the Bulls, because the Suns, they already have a bunch of wings and stuff. He knows he has a better opportunity to play and get consistent minutes on this team, as well as, since the last year was the main year, he was very much a knockdown shooter. Teams will probably be hesitant to throw an older player. I think he's 32. Any type of real money. His second year with the Bulls is a player option. So let's see if he opts in, opts out wanting more money. Let's see if he outplays his contract and whatnot. Overall, very exciting. Very, just a good player. Both these guys are coming in very much completely different situations from Patrick, Kobe, and let's face it, even Ayo. Ayo, got drafted, hometown kid. He's already getting, praise and whatnot, everything, blah, blah, blah. He's, he's ready for a second-round pick. He's got the first-round pick treatment from his hometown city. Kobe White, lottery pick. Same thing with Patrick Williams. These guys come in definite sure things, getting NBA money. But Javon Carter, Torrey Craig has had to fight their way to, just be on a roster spot. So I can't wait to see, when they bring that dog out of this team. Let's see if, they could really bring something else, connect the young players and the older players to, be a consistent, solidified basketball team. Can these young players make a jump? Can we, have Vooch play more of his game? Can we just take more threes? Overall, these players are all signed to great deals, can outplay their contract, movable contracts too. If, Ayo's playing like ass, get him out of here. Kobe as well, all of them. They're great, great deals. You got opportunity to trade for like a superstar. You got these, decent sized chunks of contracts that are movable versus, the small, minimum deals. And just, good. Very much great overall. Let me know what you think about the contracts. I'm excited for this season. Let me know, like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you when I see you.